Hi friends, my name is Vaishnavi Subhash Dhamande. In this video, we are going to discuss about thyroid gland and parathyroid gland, guided by P.G. Puranik. Now the contents of this topic: thyroid gland, histology of thyroid gland, hormones of thyroid gland, action of thyroid hormones, control of thyroid hormone secretion. Now the parathyroid hormones, histology, hormones and functions of parathyroid hormones, and lastly the references. Now the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is the butterfly shaped, is located just inferior to the larynx. It is composed of right and left lateral lobes on either side of the trachea. Means in thyroid gland there are right and left lobes are present. These are on either side of the trachea, and these two lobes are connected by an isthmus anterior to the trachea. About 50% of thyroid gland have a small third lobe called the pyramidal lobe. Thyroid is largest endocrine gland of the body. It weighed about 20 to 30 gram in adults. Now this is the diagram of thyroid gland. We can see here, as we discussed in earlier slide. So we can see there the pyramidal lobe in between two lobes, and we can see the left and right lobe, isthmus, the connect two lobes, the point which is connect two lobes, this is the isthmus, and trachea. So the microscopic spherical sac called thyroid follicles make up of most of the thyroid gland. Means sac-like spherical. The sacs make up the most of the thyroid gland. The wall of each follicle consists primarily of cells called follicular cells. When the follicular cells are inactive, their shape is low-cuboidal to squamous, but under the influence of TSH, they become active in secretion and range from cuboidal to low columnar in shape. TSH means thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay. A few cells called parafollicular cells or C cells lie between follicles. As we can say, there are some follicles. So between these follicles, some parafollicular cells is present. The cavity of follicles are filled with the cuboidal thyroglobulin. So now this is the diagram of thyroid follicles. In these follicular cells, thyroid follicles, thyroglobulin, basement membrane we can see, and parafollicular cells. As we say in earlier slides that parafollicular cells are present between the follicles. Now the hormones. There are two types of hormones of the thyroid gland: tetraiodothyronine and triiodothyronine. Tetraiodothyronine is also called as a T4, and triiodothyronine is also called as a T3. T4 means there are 4 iodides present, and T3 means there are 3 iodides present. C cells produce one hormone, means parafollicular cells, or C cells produce one hormone, that is calcitonin. Now the action of thyroid hormones: increase the metabolic rate. Okay, the rate of oxygen consumption under the standard or basal conditions by stimulating the use of cellular oxygen to produce ATP. When the basal metabolic rate increases, cellular metabolism of carbohydrates, lipids and proteins increases. Increase body temperature, it also increase body temperature. Increase the use of glucose and fatty acid for ATP production. Enhance some action of catecholamine. Epinephrine and nephrine is combinedly called as a catecholamine. So the thyroid hormones enhance some action of the catecholamines because they upregulate the beta cell receptor. For this reason, symptoms of hyperthyroidism includes increased heart rate, more fastful heartbeat, and increased blood pressure. So together with the human hormones and insulin, thyroid hormones accelerate body growth, particularly the growth of the nervous and skeletal system. Okay. So, control of thyroid hormone secretion. TRH means thyroid releasing hormone from the hypothalamus, and TSH means thyroid stimulating hormone from the anterior pituitary, stimulates the synthesis and release of thyroid hormones. TRH from the hypothalamus and TSH from the anterior pituitary stimulate the synthesis of release of thyroid hormone. So, low blood level of T3 and T4 means tetrahydrothionine and trihydrothionine stimulate the hypothalamus to secrete TRH, means thyroid releasing hormone. Thyroid releasing hormone enters the hypothalamus portal vein and flow to the anterior pituitary when it stimulates thyrotropes to secrete TSH. Thyroid stimulating hormone stimulate virtually all aspects of thyroid follicle cells activity, including iodide trapping hormones, synthesis and secretions of growth of the follicular cells. The thyroid follicle cells T3 and T4 into the blood until the metabolic rate returns to normal. All elevated level of T3 inhibit release of TRH and TSH. Now it also explained by the diagram. So now we can see here the first point, low blood level of T3 and T4 or low metabolic rate stimulate the release of TRH, means thyroid releasing hormone. Means if there is a low level of T3 and T4 in the blood, so it stimulates the thyroid releasing hormones. And then thyroid releasing hormone carried by the hypophyseal portal veins to anterior pituitary stimulates the release of TSH, means thyroid stimulating hormone by thyrotropes. And in third point, thyroid stimulating hormone released into blood stimulates thyroid follicle cells. So on, in the fourth point, T3 and T4 release into the blood by follicular cells. And in the fifth point, elevated T3 inhibit this of TRH and TSH in negative feedback. If there is a excess secretion of T3 and T4 in the blood, so there is a negative feedback. Now the calcitonin. Calcitonin is produced by the parafollicular cells. Calcitonin can decrease the level of calcium in the body by inhibiting the action of osteoclast. Osteoclast means the breakdowns of the bone, extracellular matrix. The extracellular of calcitonin is controlled by the negative feedback system. When blood level is high, calcitonin lowers the amount of the blood calcium and phosphate by inhibiting bone reabsorptions by osteoclast and by accelerating uptake of calcium and phosphate in bone extracellular matrix. If there is a blood level is high, calcium lowers the amount of the calcium and phosphate by inhibiting the bone reabsorptions and osteoclast. Parathyroid gland. Now we can discuss about the parathyroid gland. There are two pairs of parathyroid gland are found behind the thyroid gland, partially embedded in the posterior surface of the lateral lobes of the thyroid gland are several small rounded masses of tissue called parathyroid gland. One superior and one inferior parathyroid glands are attached to each other thyroid lobes for a total of 4. Means there are two pairs of parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland is endodermal in origin. The parathyroid tissue is brownish red in color. There are two types of cell in parathyroid glands, chief cells and auxinal cells. The more numerous cells called chief cells produce parathyroid hormones, also called parathormones. The function of the other kind of cells called an auxinal cells. Chief cells secrete parathyroid hormones. Low blood level of calcium stimulate the secretion and high blood calcium level inhibit the secretion. Now this is the diagram of parathyroid hormones. We can see here the two pairs of parathyroid glands. Parathormones. Now this is the function of the parathyroid hormone. Parathormones promote the absorption of calcium from food in intestine. So the food we take, we can get calcium from this food, and this is absorbed by our body. So this promotes the absorption of calcium from food in intestine. Means parathormones work for it. Parathormones enhance the reabsorption of calcium by kidney tubules that results in reduced excretion of calcium in the urine. Parathormones promotes reabsorption of calcium from the bones by stimulating the activity of large bone dissolving cell called osteoclast. I told you in the earlier slides that osteoclast means the breakdown of the bone. So here there is a process of breakdown of bone for get more calcium. So these are my references. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you so much.